Welcome back, fight fans, to another episode of GTS Combat. And yo, I'm looking ahead to what will be a highly anticipated fight, because it's not officially booked as of when I'm doing this video, but it's been rumoured and looking likely that it will be booked for April 17th for UFC Fight Night main event between Robert the Reaper Whittaker and Paulo the Eraser Costa. So let's get into it. You got Robert Whittaker will be coming into this 30 years of age, 23-5 on his mixed martial arts record, and that's 10-2 coming via TKO or KO stoppage, and 5-1 coming via submission, whilst Paulo Costa on the other hand, 13-1, and that's 11-1 coming via TKO or KO stoppage, and 1-0 coming via submission. And he's also be 29 years of age, just about, if the fight is booked for April 17th. I believe his birthday is within a week or so, just after the fight. So yeah, I think it's clear to see Robert Whittaker is the much more experienced man in the octagon. He's actually, had 2 fights since his loss to Israel Adesanya, whilst we haven't seen Paulo Costa at all since. We don't know how he's going to look. He didn't look himself against Israel Adesanya. Are we going to get the former Paulo Costa, the Paulo Costa we're used to seeing with that forward pressure and them flurries and them combinations and, just overwhelming his opponents? But we haven't actually seen as much of Paulo Costa as we'd probably like to see in the UFC octagon. He's only actually had 6 fights in the UFC, and obviously, most notably, it was his wins against Johnny Hendricks and then Uriah Hall and then the fight with Yoel Romero, and that's what set up his fight with Israel Adesanya. So, yeah, obviously, compared to Robert Whittaker, former champion, beat Yoel Romero twice. He's even beat the likes of Jacare Souza and Derek Brunson prior to that. And then, like I also said, he had the fight with Israel Adesanya. And then since then, we've seen him beat Darren Till and Jared Cannonier. So, how do I see this fight playing out? We've got the experienced, but still fairly in his prime and still fairly young Robert Whittaker against a Paulo Costa potentially approaching his prime. And like I said, 29 years of age. For that guy to be 29 years of age and still somehow also in the middleweight division, because he looks like a fucking big dude, doesn't he? Paulo Costa. How do I see it playing out if this fight gets booked? Well, like I said, you got the forward pressure of Paulo Costa. He likes to overwhelm his opponents with, big bombs, but combinations. He goes to the body and then he'll bring it back up top as well. So he has his opponents just sort of just covering up on the fence, and that's what he does. He walks them down until they're backed up against the fence. They've got nowhere to go, and he just unleashes on them. Whilst you got Robert Whittaker, who likes to utilise his movement. He gets around. He's quite happy to sort of do his work from the outside. He doesn't always have to be the one walking his opponent down, but he does like to pop his jab. He's got a very, nasty oblique kick. He'll work that oblique kick to maybe try up your knee like he did to Darren Till. Blew out Darren Till's knee. And he's also got that sneaky little right head kick that he'll pop up. He'll kind of set it up very, very well. He likes to work his jab, and like I said, he'll maybe step in with a few combinations, and then he'll just whip that head kick up. And even though his opponents know that's what Robert Whittaker likes to do, they just never really see it coming. I'm sure that's what he dropped Jared Cannonier within the 3rd round and nearly finished the fight. So, yeah, Robert Whittaker's got a variety of tools and weapons. He likes to mix up his arsenal. So, how do I see it going then? Because, like I said, it's going to be either the forward pressure and the overwhelming combinations and power of Paulo Costa if he can get Robert Whittaker backed up and get Robert Whittaker hurt. And we have seen Robert Whittaker hurt a few times. Obviously, he got finished by Israel Adesanya, but then even after he nearly finished Jared Cannonier had that moment where he just kind of popped him with a straight, and he looked a bit wobbled himself, even after 2.5 rounds of dominance. So yeah, if Robert Whittaker can avoid the pressure and the strikes of Paulo Costa, I see him picking him apart, to be honest. I see Robert Whittaker being very calculated, staying very calm, not sort of rushing in like he did against Adesanya. I think it'll be a similar sort of fight or game plan that he had against Jared Cannonier. You know, just sort of pick him apart from the outside, but when he sees opportunities, step in and then come in with them combinations. And then, like I said, use his little other weapons like his oblique kick and his head kick when he sees fit. And I believe if he does that and successfully avoids the big strikes and shuts down the offense of Paulo Costa, so he can't just come walking him down and letting off big shots and letting off his combinations, then I think Robert Whittaker will get the win and will get his arm raised. Obviously, there's a lot of ifs and buts there, but that's how I potentially see the fight playing out. Obviously, in the early rounds when Paulo Costa's fresh, if he does come out confident and start walking Robert Whittaker down, then it could be an early night for the two of them. But with Robert Whittaker, I think he will have the right game plan. He will get the job done. And how do I actually see it? Maybe a potentially a fourth round TKO finish for Robert Whittaker. If not, maybe a 5-round unanimous decision win, because I believe it's going to be booked for a 5-round main event fight. So my unofficial prediction will be Paulo Costa potentially could get it finished early within 2 rounds, but my official prediction will be Robert Whittaker 4th round TKO, but if not, he'll get a unanimous decision victory. So Robert Whittaker is my pick if this fight gets booked for April 17th for a UFC Fight Night main event. You know my prediction. Let me know your prediction in the comment section below. I've been your boy Jimmy. This has been GTS Combat. Like, comment, share and subscribe. Till next time.